concerns about conditions of the field. They had a ton of rain and a Miami-Duke game last night, but they're still going to play. The Falcons will face the Redskins at FedEx Field. The Fitzmagic is back for Tampa Bay. Ryan Fitzpatrick getting the start at quarterback for the Bucs. They're at Carolina. The Bears are on the road at Buffalo. No Khalil Mack. He's not going to play. And no Stephon Diggs for the Vikings, who are home to take on the Lions. Both teams coming off of tough losses. As for the Saints, they are back home in the Superdome. Drew Brees getting set to host an afternoon showdown with the 8-0 Rams.
The season that they're having, undefeated, they've played exceptionally well on both sides of the ball. I mean, their scoring differential is off the charts. You know, they're scoring a ton of points on offense and not giving up very much on defense and doing everything right that you would say is winning football. And I think we're trying to get there as well, you know. And so this game it's just a game against two really good opponents that obviously have high expectations for themselves this season. It should be a great game.
Yeah, one of the three late games, and then tonight, must-see on NBC, the Patriots hosting Aaron Rodgers and the Pack on Sunday Night Football.
He's just, he's a great player, and I think he's gonna play his best. He always does. I mean, he plays pretty great every week. We face other great quarterbacks this year. Our defense sets some pretty tough challenges. I have my own going against that defense, really well coached. They got a lot of scheme. They got a lot of talented players, very versatile players on defense.
On the NBA today, there's a late afternoon game in Milwaukee with the Bucks in Sacramento. Tonight, Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors are in L.A. to play LeBron and the Lakers. I'm Jeff Biggs. This is NBC Sports Radio.
For 51 years, Jesse Sandoval has called Fontana home. He grew up in Fontana, married his high school sweetheart, Mary, and raised 3 children, all in Fontana. They're now enjoying their grandchildren in their hometown. Jesse has devoted a big part of his life to public service, and as a Fontana City Councilman, he has been dedicated to the city for 6 years. Fontana has faced challenges, but continues to move forward, and Jesse is proud to be part of that progress. But we can do more. We can do better. Jesse Sandoval can help us do that with a principled and fair style of leadership. As your next mayor, he will continue to put Fontana first. It's time Fontana is represented by a mayor who reflects its people. On November 6th, support and vote Jesse Sandoval for mayor of Fontana. Together, we can keep Fontana moving forward. Sponsored by Jesse Sandoval for mayor of Fontana.
How many commercials do you hear every day claiming to be the best weight loss program ever? The only problem, you spend a lot of money, you lose the weight, you gain it back. Plus, when all it takes is adding protein to your diet. Protein gives you what you need and reduces hunger. NutriPro is pure protein. It's not the newest fad. It's not the latest weight loss program, but it helps to stop those daily cravings safely. There's no magic. It's simply a 2-ounce shot of protein taken twice a day, 20 grams of pure, clean protein in every shot with absolutely no carbs, no fat, and no sugar. Feel full faster and keep feeling full longer. It never requires refrigeration, mixing, or dilution. It is simply easy access to protein anytime, anywhere. But it's not available in stores. It's available directly from the manufacturer. Go to myproteinnow.com and try a 20-count trial pack today. Go to myproteinnow.com for a special introductory offer, including shipping. Do it right now. myproteinnow.com.
It's time to say see you later, alligator, to embarrassing and troublesome issues with your skin, nails, and hair with all-natural Caiman alligator oil. Caiman Oil is locally made, right in Louisiana, where people have been using alligator oil for centuries to treat all kinds of ailments. A drop a day of Caiman Oil can help you say, see you later, alligator, to athlete's foot, nail fungus, acne, eczema, rashes, dry skin, cuts, infections, MRSA, scars, burns, sunburns, and even ingrown hair and dandruff. If you or someone you know is tired of suffering with any of these skin, nail, and hair troubles, you need to visit mycaiman.com to learn more about 100% natural, non-toxic, hypoallergenic Caiman oil and get a bottle today. Say see you later, alligator, with Caiman alligator oil at mycaiman.com. That's mycaimon.com. mycaiman.com.
Empire Talks back. I'm Wallace Allen here on the Case for Truth and Justice with the right information. I know you haven't heard much of that. With the right information to help improve the situation. Folks, I don't care who you are, what you're doing. If you're not physically and mentally fit, you're going to lose. If you are not physically and mentally fit, you are not fit to do the job that you're trying to do. If you're not physically and mentally fit, you are cheating your family, yourself, your community, this nation. We need you. We need you to be physically and mentally fit. I need for you to be able to do some critical thinking. I need for you to be all that you can be. When we meet each other at the intersection, the goal is not to run into each other. The goal is to be able to negotiate each other's presence with some type of attitude that's going to build us both up, all of us up, to be the best that we can be, so that the atmosphere will be the best that it. Come on, folks, you know what I'm talking about. You can't get full and fat. Okay, I'm not body shaming. I'm not here to body shame, but I'm here to remind you that you have a standard. If you're happy, I can't say I'm happy unless I see you perform, but if you're happy to sit on the sidelines and let the world pass you by, I'm not happy about that, because you have thoughts, you have creativity, you have things that you can contribute. I'm not happy if you're not being your best, and you shouldn't be happy if I'm bringing half of me. Okay, so the deal is, I am on a mission. I have to be. I'm a baby boomer. I'm not wanting to fade out of this place without having made some great accomplishments, some contribution, something other than the beautiful children that my wife, I mean, I can't claim the kids. She did that. I mean, they're beautiful, they're smart, they've got, she did that. I did a little bit, but the point I'm making, folks, is we have to set some goals, and the goal that I've set is I want to be healthier when I die than I was when I was born. I don't know if that's something that makes sense or not, but I've heard people say that if they knew how great their grandchildren were, they would have had them first. So if they can think like that, I should be able to think in terms of, I want a good, strong quality of life. I want to be physically healthy, I want to be mentally sharp, and I want you to help me do that. So I'm asking that, I was going to say, hey, let's walk Route 66 together, and we are going to do that. But first, I'm going to have to ask the coach to help get us all in shape. Coach Carl Guillaume with Mind, Body, and Soul. Coach, I made a comment. I'm making a commitment. Can you help me?
Absolutely.
Can you help others?
I can help as many people as you put out in front of me. As long as you start with your why, that's the beginning. And the rest will take care of itself.
Very good, Coach. So you're willing to step up, make yourself available to give people a personal formula for making themselves physically fit?
Absolutely.
I know that I'm going to have Ms. Tammy Martin-Riles come in to talk to me a little bit about a nutrition, or someone that can help us be better fed.
Sure.
Of course, now I'm going to tell you off the top, when she comes in, she's going to chase all the meat and stuff in your life out of as a matter of fact, she's going to try to tell you don't need to cook.
Okay.
So I'm going to need another nutritionist to kind of balance, because she's radical.
Okay.
But you're radical too.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, so we're going to do what we have to do to make it easy for people to participate. But Coach Carl?
Yes, sir.
Give them your phone number.
My phone number is 909-731-1698. Again, that's 909-731-1698. This is Carl Guillaume, MPS Lee Train. This ain't no game. Holla at your boy. We ready to make it happen.
Man, as long as he's not giving you directions to the pizza house.
Yeah.
Man, Carl gave me directions to the pizza house down in Cabazon the other day, and I'm still trying to find it.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Okay.
The directions that you're going to give for people and their personal formula for personal betterment, to get themselves in good physical shape, to be a good person to themselves, their parents, their relatives, their wife, you're going to help them do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, Carl, I'm going to depend on you as I have done in the past. We're going to take a short break. Okay. When we come back, I'm going to introduce Mayor Aquanetta Warren. She is the mayor of Fontana, one of the first places in the Inland Empire to absorb a great community attitude of healthy cities. And she is now still walking with her constituents in the city of Fontana every Saturday. And if you want to go out and join her and bug her about some politics, or suggest that she share a good recipe, I suggest that you do that with her. But we're going to join her. We're going to become part of that walk. I'm going to explain our Get in Shape Route 66 marathon plan. I'll do that as we go along. But it's here, folks. We're not going to run from it anymore. We are not going to wait for somebody else to lead us. We're ready to get going. And, that's the perfect attitude to have as we march into November 6th, the day after tomorrow, which is Election Day. And if you haven't voted already like I have, I'm going to show you my voter card.
Okay, now.
If you haven't voted like I have, it's not too late to vote. And if you're in the city of Fontana, I think that Mayor Warren is going to want you to do something special for her and for you. So when we come back from this short break, and can you take us away in 10, 9, 8, 7, all the way down to 1, and we'll be back right after this short break. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen.
Young, active, and in the best shape of my life. But I still know life can change in an instant, and when it does, I want to be prepared. That's why I have a healthcare plan through Cover California to cover life's unexpected moments. And having a plan that includes preventive care just makes sense. That means I don't pay extra for services like annual checkups, flu shots, and diabetes screenings. I like that.
Covered California. It's more than just healthcare, it's life care. Visit coveredca.com to enroll or find free expert help. Enroll by December 15th.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
All right, this is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen, and if you are watching, and if you're not, you should be. If you're watching on KCAAradio.com, you'll see that it looks like television, and I've got Mayor Aquanetta Warren sitting to my immediate right. It might look to your left on TV, but she's to my right. Good morning, Mayor. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm not in as great as.
You know, I have an honorary doctor's degree in theology.
Are you gonna save my soul as well as save the city of Fontana? Very good. Maybe that's why I saw your shadow when I was doing my morning prayer. That's good. I didn't know that. Doctor of Divinity, huh?
No, theology.
Theology.
Dimension gave me an honorary doctor's degree.
Honorary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I was very honored.
You've been mayor of Fontana how long?
Since 2010.
Now, I just read in the magnificent San Bernardino Sun a couple of days ago that the city of Fontana was named by this national group as one of the most prosperous, well, actually, the most prosperous city in the state of California.
Fourth in the nation. And that's based on Rent Cafe. They look at indicators.
Yeah.
And how you've decreased certain indicators. We've decreased our poverty level. We still got a long way to go. And we've increased job opportunities. Our educational level is going up. Thank God we have 5 districts. So we got a little bit of that Etowanda magic in there.
You know, I've attempted to do a little comedy now and then.
Hey, don't
but
it's
not. But it used to be a funny thing, and people used to say it, and they used to say it with disdain as well as. But they said
as jealousy.
Well, no. At this point, they said it as disdain, and they said it as, "Ooh, we all need to straighten up," and they called it Tucky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we called it Tucky. Why? Because it seemed to be not part of the United States. One of the first things that I remember about it was a young man was, oh man, listen, I'm on the future. I'm on what is good for the future. I'm on us focusing on things that are great for the future. One of the things that I am able to say is that if you're in physical and mental shape,
right.
Okay, and that crosses everybody's party lines. It crosses your poverty line. It crosses your wealth line. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. If you are in good physical shape, mentally astute, I think that I can pay attention to you.
Right.
Okay?
That's why we have the best parks. We try all of our programming, our branding is Healthy Fontana. And we do cooking classes, not only for the adults, but for the children. We're just trying to make sure we create an environment where people can be healthy.
Sport, I guess that's why you've got, what, 5 opponents, people running for mayor? Well, is that
14, though. I'm doing pretty good this time.
Well, do you think some people have been discouraged? Was it your goal to discourage or encourage people to take your job?
No, you know what? I believe the more the merrier. Bring it on and let's have fun.
Does that give? I would expect that if you came in and said you wanted to do Empire Talks Back and take over my show, that you'd be able to tell me there were some things wrong with what I'm doing and some right things that I should be able to do. Have any of your opponents, come on now, be truthful, inspired you with a new thought to something that maybe that you hadn't thought of that you are going to kind of focus on when you're elected again?
I have to date to see what their platform is. None of them have asked for an appointment and talked to me. They just kind of showed up. And I'm okay with that because it's a free country. People have a right to run for office.
Yes.
And like I said, usually I have up to
It's not free to run for office. So.
Right, it's not free. But people think it should be, and they get upset if you're able to raise funds and people believe in you to run.
Well, who's been raising funds? Who supports you?
Oh, my goodness. I've got from the 5-year-old that gave me $5 at the market, all the way up to people that have businesses in Fontana. But what really has focused me is our priority is safety. All the public safety agencies in Southern California have endorsed me.
How is the city of Fontana dealing with disaster preparedness, emergency preparedness?
We just opened up our new emergency operations center, and it's a big priority for me as mayor because we want people to have their tools if something does happen. So we've got the building, we've got the computers, and everything's all set up, and we've got a process and procedures in place.
So preparedness is
number one priority.
Very good, because I have a friend who is now working with Homeland Security, and as he took his job, Mr. Alton Garrett, he informed me.
He's my friend too.
Alton's a pretty friendly guy. You know, and if you're Homeland Security, that's good because when you're not able to be as efficient as you need to be, sometimes you have to lean on friendship.
That's right.
I'm not saying that about Alton. I'm saying that about the bureaucrat. Just the attitude of bureaucracy usually is not to prepare, but is to respond. And that's one of the issues with Homeland Security.
Right.
Is that they're basically to respond, not to overly prepare.
But
so
that's what we have to do locally.
That you're preparing. Yes.
Oh yeah, locally we have to take it seriously. We have to make sure our officers have all their tools to do their job.
What about the public? You know, one of the things that we're always able to do is depend on, let's depend on Aquanetta. Let's depend on the governor.
Well, we have active classes and seminars that help prepare the citizens for emergencies. We've got literature. And we have a very active KFON, which is our TV station. And, you know, I have 2 shows on there. And we interview people all the time. We have Fontana's. You know what? I'm going to have you on the show. It's Fontana's Open for Business. I started that when I became mayor. I wanted to help the business community. You know, we had they said it was a recession.
Tammy, write down that she says she's going to have me on her show.
Yeah, I'm going to have you on the show.
Write that down.
People need to see what great voice is behind this voice.
Give her a campaign contribution.
That's right.
Seems to be a really smart lady.
No, but then we have a show called Local Matters. We interview everyone that has anything that matters locally. And that includes people that are helping our public to educate on earthquakes, fires, the whole gamut. You've seen our weather. Yes. It's not like we've ever seen. You know, I'm assuming we're baby boomers together, and we've seen some things, but this is crazy what we're seeing.
Well, my commitment for physical, mental health is also matched by a commitment for emergency preparedness.
Absolutely.
We've themed our goal of the California Route 66 Marathon as a healthy lifestyle event and an emergency preparedness event.
Do you pack an emergency bag when you go out of town?
No.
You should.
I know I should. This is exactly why I know that we need to push and make this happen.
You got some for the broken nail, the weave that's about to come out, or either you got something for what happens.
But you don't
need a toothbrush and all that, but you don't even have any Band-Aids.
No.
You don't have no extra water. I mean, these packets.
All I have is company. The thousands and tens of hundreds of thousands of people who, just like me, are not prepared.
That's right.
And that's why I say we're going to get ourselves physically and mentally fit, because it does make absolutely no sense to be driving around in Southern California.
Bring extra medicine. We went down to San Diego about 2 months ago, me and some friends. My friend knew she needed her medicine. Well, we at Kaiser trying to get her prescription filled. And I told her right then, I said, that should have been the first thing in your girlfriend, was some medicine.
That's right.
So we have to get people thinking beyond today and now. They've got to think about, what if something happens?
Common sense is not common.
That's right.
And
it is. You can bank on that.
Okay. Why are you running for a mayor, and what is it that you still need to get done that you haven't been able to do since 2010?
I'll tell you, I'm not done. I have big plans for our city. I've been able to achieve a lot of them. Our economic development is booming right now, and we're moving forward. But we still have one thing that I must get done, and that is to help our children be prepared, as we talked about preparedness, for the future. As a mayor, I don't get the opportunity to say, I'm only the mayor for the people in the unified school districts or public schools. I'm a product of public schools, and I love them, and I work with them all the time. But I also have parents that have charter school kids, and they also have parents that have put their children in parochial schools, as well as Christian schools. So I don't get to say I can't serve those people. And as I look at all those entities, the one factor that's missing are kids that don't go to college, which, by the way, represents 89% don't go to college. What happens to them? Sidewalk university, homelessness, crime-ridden? We've got to stop that. So I want to continue to work with all those entities to get our kids prepared for these jobs. I have a mayor's manufacturing council. People be talking about, oh, we got all these warehouses. They're not warehouses. They're not distribution centers, not all of them. We have over 400 manufacturers in Fontana. So we need those people to step it up, and they are. I have 19 of them on my mayor's manufacturing council, and what do they ask for? How can we get more people employed? They have jobs open, and they can't find
So solution for some of that. How do we...
We did Inland Empire Women in Manufacturing, phenomenal program. We used the big, I call them tilt-up. We used the big building. We had over 380 women that came to find out what careers exist there. And we also had Fontana Unified School District send some of their kids. Wow. We need to make sure that the educators, we want them to have the education. We're not down in the teachers. They are doing a phenomenal job. We love our teachers. They don't get paid half of what they should get paid for what they put up with.
We agree here.
We all recognize that. That's all over the nation. We need to stop that. We need to fix that. And we need to educate our children in career training so that when they come out of school, they have an option. We don't need people walking the streets 2 years trying to figure out what they want to be when they grow up. They need a plan. Once again, prepare. We need to give our youth a plan. And it helps the city with our crime. It helps the city with people being able to take care of themselves. The other issue that I'm very pressing on is housing. We need diversity in housing. Everybody doesn't want a 10,000 square foot lot. I'm tired of mine. I think people want to live.
You mean you don't enjoy cutting all the grass and cleaning the pool, moving the leaves and all that stuff?
No, I'm telling you. But we have people that work in the city that can't afford to live in the city. I want to correct that.
And when your children move away, you really realize how big the yard is and how hard those chores and...
Your house becomes their party house.
Fontana has a nickname.
Another one?
Anthony suggested.
It's called Fun Tucky. That's what they call it.
No, we used to. That's Anthony. He was in his guitar. He's the mood master. But your conversation's been so interesting. You noted that you hadn't heard any bass playing for the last 5 minutes because he was paying attention to you talk.
That's what they call it. They call it Fun Tucky.
But it's changed.
That used to be called Fun Tucky.
It still is.
Well, there are areas that could probably comply with that. We're still working on them, and probably people don't realize they're in the county sphere.
Yeah, that's the other
When you don't see any sidewalks, hello, you're in the county. I'm just being honest. They know it.
What are we able to do to encourage you, speaking of affordable housing, to encourage our kids once they do graduate from high school, go to college, what are we doing to make it possible for them to come back?
Well, see, and that's the thing. We always tell people, go to college, they come back, no job. That's what's happening.
Right.
I just posted an article, and I'll give it to you, Wallace, basically saying that we are basically gotten everybody in this frame, and now when they get that job, they can't come back. But what we're seeing is those that are smart enough, have transferable skills, they can work in those manufacturing. That's why we push Made in Fontana. People don't realize when those goods come off that boat.
That's a pretty hot
Yeah,
thing.
you saw it at my State of the City, Made in Fontana.
Yes.
We've been putting it on the babies even when they're born. Made in Fontana.
Born in Fontana doesn't mean that they were necessarily made in
Well,
Fontana.
their parents claim they remember when it happened.
Oh,
okay?
okay.
Their parents are claiming they remember
in order
when
to
it
get
happened.
that Made in Fontana stamp,
Right.
you do have to remember.
Yeah, but we have products that go to NASA, all the way to the little nail that's in that microphone. And these are entrepreneurs, and they want to train our children. But the bureaucracy in the school districts, now I got to give it to Etowanda, they're open to it. Wow. But we got to work with the other districts, because you guys are pushing an agenda that's not working for over 89% of your population.
You mentioned the mayor's council.
That's right.
Does that mean you have counsel with other mayors in the area?
Yes, I'm on the leadership advisory group for United States Conference of Mayors, mayors from all over the nation. I use that to benchmark the grants we get, because all the corporations come to that agency, and they ask me now, can you apply for a grant? They like what they see going in Fontana. I mean, why are you going to put your money in a place that nothing's happening? Things are happening in Fontana, and I want to finish that off. And I have a right as a United States citizen to say when I want to run. So that's what I did. I'm going to keep running until I get finished.
You got my
Hello.
He lives in Palm Springs.
Yeah, but you got family and friends in Fontana. And probably customers.
Yes, I got a lot of customers in Fontana.
Right. Okay, we have a caller. Is it, who's calling, please? Would you find out, screen that call for me?
Yeah, hi, Wallace. I'm David, the guy from San Francisco. I called a couple times a year.
Oh, you're from my friend from San Francisco.
Yeah, how are you?
Do me a favor. I'm going to bring you in after the break, because there's some issues up there that I'd like for you to kind of clarify for me. One of them is rent control. I'm just amazed that I can't even ride through San Francisco anymore. I was up there a couple of months ago. I got out of the car to read a street sign, and somebody came up and charged me rent. So, Bob, hang on. Bob.
Whoa. It's like that.
I'm a pretty smart guy, so I kind of analyzed it and looked at him and determined that he may not have been, properly suited to do that. But but Bob, hang on. Please do that for me. Aquanetta, we're going to let you go. I know you got to go to church. And you need to go in and let some people know that it's okay, that you're not mad at the other 5 people who are running for your job.
No, I mean, that's
and that
what
they
we
should
want
talk to
in
them
America.
and see if they could get a good idea.
Yeah, we want people to participate. But it would have been nice to know why. And none of them have been able to put a platform for it. So I'm like, okay, we're running. We're all running. But I'm running because I got to get it done.
And you walk every Saturday.
That's right. I walk every Saturday.
And where do people meet you to walk on Saturday?
Well, you know what? What most people do will text me, or either they'll Facebook me and ask me what way I'm going. Because sometimes I just walk with groups, which I really enjoy. And I get so much feedback. And, for this campaign, I'm a politician when it comes to political
science. Can we come and work with your walkers? And
yes, absolutely. When you do your walk, we're going to bring Fontana Strong with you, okay?
Very good.
And we got Fontana Walks. We did 3 billion steps. You heard about that, didn't you? 3 billion steps as a city.
That's a testimony to your school district that you could even count to 3 billion. Because I've been some places where they can't even count to 2.
Look on the city's website and my Facebook. You'll see all our activities. There's no secrets here. There's no conspiracy. We're just making it happen in Fontana. And we'll work with anyone.
Very good. Aquanetta Warren, mayor of the city of Fontana, one of the 4 most prosperous cities in the United States, the actual most prosperous city in the state of California, determined by the company called Rent.
Rent Cafe, they do a survey. and we came out on top. You know, I'm always making sure we beat Irvine. I'm
That's
sick
right.
of Irvine. Somebody needs to make a joke about Irvine.
When we
sounds
do
like a
our
bad
street-
glass of wine, doesn't it? I had Irvine.
When we do our street challenge, our street sprints,
Right.
someone just called. Did you get the call?
But did you
the
see what
mayor
happened?
of Irvine called and said that they could outrun Mayor Warren in a 40-yard sprint.
Tell him to
Did
bring
you,
it in.
did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
I just heard it on my
But if
phone.
you notice, I bypassed Rancho, Rialto, and Ontario because I'm past that. I'm worrying about the Orange County trying to pass this up.
That's right.
I'm past.
Well, since you are so solid in your position, we are definitely going to bring you back so you can offer some healthy challenges to our
Right.
neighboring cities and things of that
And
sort.
Wallace, I'm looking forward to working with you on that Route 66 because we need to walk a little bit above and beyond where we are now. That makes sense.
Take the high road.
Take the high road.
Well, I accept your offer. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. We've had a great chance to talk to Mayor Aquanetta Warren. Nobody called in. I guess everybody's satisfied. My friend Dave called in from San Francisco. We're going to talk to him in a minute. We had a good chance to talk with you, Carl.
Yes, sir.
We want to remind people that healthy, wealthy, and wise is
And you
available
need to come and
you.
give us some exercises before we walk.
I'm there. Let's
Yes.
do it next
Okay,
weekend.
yeah.
I'm with you.
We'll do it.
November 17th is our next Fontana walk.
I'm there.
Take this short break. Mayor Warren, thank you so much for
KCAA
coming.
Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
I'm young, active, and in the best shape of my life. But I still know life can change in an instant, and when it does, I want to be prepared. That's why I have a healthcare plan through Cover California to cover life's unexpected moments. And having a plan that includes preventive care just makes sense. That means I don't pay extra for services like annual checkups, flu shots, and diabetes screenings. I like that.
Covered California. It's more than just healthcare, it's life care. Visit coveredca.com to enroll or find free expert help. Enroll by December 15th.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. We just had a great conversation with Mayor Aquanetta Warren of Fontana. She invites and happily invites her competition to keep up the fight, keep up the run. She's trying to be as productive for the Inland Empire, Fontana, the city, as possible. So I guess I should thank all of you guys who are running against her for inspiring her to get up and make it happen a little bit. Tammy Martin Rouse.
Always here to rile things up.
Well, yes, you are.
Yes.
Did you meet Carl?
Hey, Carl. And Carl, haven't I met you before? I've been to your facility, right?
Yeah, you've been to the facility.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, see, this is what we do. We make it happen. Okay, give me David from San Francisco. Haven't talked to him in
We
a
got a
while.
couple of calls.
Yeah, we're going to get to everybody now. Okay, is that David down?
It is. Thanks, Wallace. And actually, I had called in. Been hoping to raise something with your previous guest, the mayor. Are you familiar with Ralph Nader and Howard Zinn? Both were talking for years about time dollars and how you can create a local currency. And so when she was talking about the Made in Fontana campaign,
yeah,
if you had a time dollar with it, then people, poor kid on the street could still take part in it by having time dollars to work with instead of greenbacks.
David, David, take my phone number. Now, you write this down.
Yeah, go ahead.
909
909
915
915
7922.
7922.
Yeah, I want you to call me back and talk to me about that coin thing as a incentive for people to participate.
Well, it's local currencies is a concept, and it's real easy to spot. The other thing, and you mentioned the real estate prices.
I mentioned the real estate unpricing, the insanity of San Francisco and of the Bay Area, because the fact that they've got a little money from the fact that I've lost my phone 6 times and had to buy another one 6 times. So as I make them rich, I see that they've simply decided to run up the cost of housing there and almost everywhere.
Oh, that's exactly the point. And Prop 10 is the statewide initiative back in 1995, when the Republicans ran the legislature in California, they made this bill called Costa-Hawkins.
Let's talk about this without naming Republicans and Democrats.
Well,
let's just talk about this. Yeah, let's talk about this based on the issue itself, and not get into the dog whistle stuff.
Sure, because they were both sides of the aisle when I think about it. But it was the landlords, let's say, the landlord lobbyists, put together Costa-Hawkins in 1995, which said that no small town in California could create tenants' rights, that they were kept away from it by statute of California law. And so no small town can protect itself if some huge...
Did they use the terminology small town, David? I think we may need to get this, you sound like you're going down one side of the road here instead of down the middle. That 1995 writ control issue had to do with I thought the whole state. You just you're not able to raise rent on any properties that were built after 1995, and or before 1995. Before 1995. So I'm not sure about the rent control issue, but I am, as we talk about Prop 10, and I see David's gone. My stand on all of the propositions is very interesting, but on Prop 10, I'm saying let's leave that under local control. Let's put it under local control. The city should be in much better position to determine whether they want to have rent control than someone all the way up in Sacramento. That's just my thoughts on it. But David, thanks for the call. I see you're not there, but I do appreciate you listening from San Francisco and calling in. Okay, we now have another caller. Who is this? Barbara, would that be Barbara?
Put it on.
Barbara.
Take it to the streets.
The Babcock.
Barbara,
Absolutely.
Barbara the Babcock. My friend. How are you, Miss Barbara?
I am just doing fabulous, and I'm very excited about Tuesday. Is my second favorite mayor, Aquiletta Warren, still there, or did she take off?
No, she went to church, being on
well, there you go.
The day before the election. They need to try to get to as many churches as they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad she came to the Church of Wallace for a moment. But yeah, I know that you are advocating for several issues and people, and Barbara, you are one of the people that we respect. So I'm going to turn this over to you for a couple of minutes. I know you're probably going to say something to make me mad, but that's okay. I love you.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. We can get along even if we don't agree on stuff, and I think that's something we need to learn. We need to learn to grow up. And I was going to call, and I had hoped to speak to Mayor Warren because she just epitomizes what a city can become, and it didn't come overnight, and they did not go through bankruptcy. And I just want to advocate, and I hate the phrase 4 more years, but I'm going, yes, 4 more years, because, Mayor Davis is not the most exciting man around. I will admit that. But I will tell you, he is straight. He does not even mess around with other women. He doesn't even look at other women. I mean, I don't get in the car with him alone unless somebody else is in the car. But, that's okay. You need to protect your values, and people will just love to find excuses to find something wrong.
Barbara, are you trying to tell me that you're about to attack the mayor and he has to have protection? What do you mean?
No, I'm saying that he does need God's protection over him, and he needs Wallace's and Tammy's protection, because there are some nasty things going on in this city. I have been threatened twice in the last 2 weeks. One of them was kind of serious. Even one of our fine captains in the police department was threatened.
When you say threatened, I mean,
Okay, let me tell you.
Yeah, tell me
this
the
was
threat.
This was a week ago Tuesday. I'm not going to say who it was, but it was a captain in the police department, and he got a phone call, and he says, "You need to stop taking down my blankety blank campaign signs." And he says, "Are you talking about the ones that are up legally or the ones that are up illegally? Doesn't matter." And he's just going on and on. And then the captain said to him, "You know what? I don't need to listen to this. You should be talking that way." He says, "You do listen to me, or I will take care of you." Something to that effect. And the captain hung up the phone on him.
Now, if that person's house catches on fire, do you think the captain's going to run over there as quick as he could?
Well, yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying,
the
a person who can threaten a fire chief is not really thinking. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't fire. The fire loves to know. This was a police captain.
Same thing.
This was a police captain. No, it's not, because I've always gotten along good with the Police Officers Association. I have not always gotten along with the fire union.
Who threatened you, Barbara? Who threatened you?
A candidate said, "You better stop talking the way you are." He introduced me to his wife. He says, and I got to be careful because I've been threatened to be sued. I don't care. I have nothing to sue about, you know. It was after one of those forums. And I said, "You know what? I've never met your wife." And he says, "Darling, this is Barbara Babcock, that mean woman that's telling all those mean lies about me." And then he looked at me and he says, "What you've done is actionable." I said, "You're going to sue me?" He didn't answer.
Oh, I bet you're talking about one of the mayoral candidates. Because
Probably so.
I know you.
Probably
I know you have a favorite in the race, and I know.
Well, you know what? And I will tell you what, Mr.
You know
Allen.
what? Let's do this, Barbara. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, 1 minute, and I want you to tell me why you think Mayor Kerry Davis, who you are an advocate for, and and then let me move on to somebody else because we have other callers. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, do it.
I am supporting Mayor Kerry Davis. I have not always. I was going to support Mike Gallo, but some stuff came up, and I said, Mayor Davis is heading in the right direction. We were $45 million in bankruptcy, underwater. We now have $30 million. It's not a surplus, but you know what? We are going to hit some hard times again, and we need somebody that's not going to be pushed by the union, somebody that's not, they're going to do the right thing for the right reasons. I'm so excited because we balanced the budget. We said we were going to. We have now cleaned up all of the mess that we were dealing with. We before did not have, for several years, we did not have our audits done. We've got a good team. Some people don't like what's going on.
That was it. Barbara,
okay.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. Be a good citizen.
And I am just, and you listen, you let everybody else talk. Get out and vote and study the issues. Study the issues. Thank you guys so much for what you do.
Barbara Babcock, citizen. Thank you very much. Okay, next on the line, who do we have there? Who is that?
Oh, well, thanks, Wallace. Yeah, this is David again. I didn't realize that it sounded like I got cut off, but it was, I guess I was on some sort of hold or another.
Yeah.
What I was saying basically about Prop 10 is that, and you kind of dealt with it, we were talking about small towns. Well, you know, a suburb of L.A. could be a small town.
Let's not beat up Prop 10. I think we carried that. Now, what else is your movement? I don't want, we need to keep going here.
Yeah, well, it was just that the PR spin about Prop 10 pretends that it's protecting against big government, but it's actually big government saying that small government can't protect itself.
Don't you agree that that's the problem with the propositions, is that they all lie?
They're not lying.
Even the ones, I didn't say that everything out of their mouth is a lie, but I did say that every side is apparently willing to lie to some extent when they talk about the other side, and that's what kind of throws me off. You know, I'm not interested.
Well, Prop 10 doesn't have any ads that deal with it from the angle I'm telling you. That if you think about it, big government wanted to make sure that tenants' rights didn't happen in California.
Let me ask you, how are you on 10 and why?
Yes, on 10. Save your own life and make sure your town doesn't get bought up by some massive corporation.
Okay, I had said the same thing, except I said because it's local and that we should keep it local. Let's not beat it up.
So yes on 10 keeps it local.
Okay, and I'm saying let's not beat that up. We've already said what we want to do, what we thought is good about it, and the only thing I'd like to hear now would be somebody that thought the other way. So that's what I mean when I say beat it up. I'm not here to try to make enemies so much as I'm here trying to help. No. But what I mean is, once we say where we are, let's go forward to the next step, to the next thing. Because
I was going to raise it from the history angle too.
Well, once again, the whole point becomes now to belittle someone else's position.
No, it's not belittling. It's just big money. You remember?
What's wrong with big money? If it were on my side, I wouldn't argue about it. Big money's cool as long as it's going the way I want it to go. I would imagine you feel the same way, David.
Well, I don't like big money when it pushes me around.
David, nobody likes little money if it's pushing you around. The whole point that I'm making is no one likes to be inconvenienced in any kind of manner. Most of the time, even if it's challenging our our viewpoint on something. So this is.
Well,
we're not going to be right all the time.
When I was going to raise the history of it, it got built in 1995, but they knew that Hong Kong.
David, you know one of the privileges of being in charge. One of the privileges of being in charge is that, once you set some standards, you get to keep them. I already said that we're through beating this up.
We the people haven't ever.
Let's show David the power of control. David, call me on my cell number. We'll talk about that money thing. But right now, you're off the air. Okay, folks. In order to get along, okay, Tammy, I did it wrong. Explain it to me, Tammy. What did I do wrong?
I'm just saying, you ain't do nothing wrong. You just being Wallace was being a little choicey today.
I am being choicey. We all are choicey. Show me the other choice. I'm here. Call me if you disagree. 909-792-5222. I'd like to talk to someone who disagrees.
I think what it is we probably have to set guidelines to say, okay, these are the things you need to say. What is the problem? What would you change? And why are you speaking on it? And boom, make your statement and go.
Oh, I wish I'd had you set that standard in the beginning.
And then create it, and then once they're done, say thank you very much.
Right. Right. Well, I would think that as you're having a conversation and we moved and say, oh, okay, we're at the end of that, let's move on to the next. And then when you go back into that, now you're exercising your control as a person who decides to speak on what you want to speak to.
Because they had no guidelines. Because if you let the...
Oh, no. The guideline was, we have just finished with that. Can we go forward? That's all.
Oh, he went forward in his own...
That's what I mean. That's why I had to let him know who's driving the bus. That's right. That's why it's important for us to vote and understand that when we put somebody in charge, they're driving the bus. And if you don't want an idiot, a drunkard, an imbecile driving the bus, vote carefully. David has voted carefully for years, and he votes every Sunday to listen to us, and I love him for that. And he also knows that I know he is a master manipulator of conversation. That's why I like him. That's why I had to reduce myself to hanging up on him, because I couldn't keep up with him. He knows what's going on. He knows I respect his ability to talk and get it there. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but...
That's okay. We'll get over it.
Yeah. So, anybody else have some favorite politician they'd like to bring in? Let's do it. The thing that I'm most impressed about today is the fact that I finally made a decision. And that decision is I'm going to live my life as healthy and prosperous as I can in terms of my nutrition, in terms of my diet, in terms of my physical habits.
Are you really?
Yes, ma'am, I am. And there will be some things suggestions that I don't take. I know that because...
And why is that?
Well, because I'm stubborn and I'm a human being. And, and if I can make a little progress over here and mark that, I'm going to be using that standard. There's a couple of things, like I know I should not eat the meat. It's not good for me. It's not good for my joints. It's not, and I have reduced it. But this guy moved next door to my building with a hamburger stand. That damn hamburgers are so good. Roger, if you're listening, I don't know whether to be mad at you or glad at you. But I do know this, that you are getting my money regularly because you got me. It's like
drugs.
A drug. It's like a drug.
It's not like it is.
It's a drug. It's a drug. And I'm hooked on it, and I'm going to reduce myself from going over there 3 or 4 times a week.
So what makes you different? But wait a minute.
Maybe once.
What makes you different from the addict?
Nothing.
Okay, so what do you tell the addict?
Do as your mind tells you to do. Do not do as you see me do, because that's not the answer.
Okay,
I am not your perfect
but wait a
example.
Minute. Do you agree that they should go seek help?
I agree that this is the situation.
Here
That
we
there are
go.
going to be some people who
got
set good examples and some people who set bad examples. If you saw nothing but good examples all your life, you would have no idea what a bad example is. And you may get bored by the efficiency of the good choices that are being made. And you will do like some children do. They see how successful their parents are. They see that dad is being able to supply and bring it in, and mom is awfully good, and she handles the neighborhood and the community well, and she's able to get you in school really good, and doggone it, my friends don't like me because I'm a square, I'm a cube, I don't get in with, and I'm gonna be bad. Where's the drug man? This is how. Oh, you looking at me like you don't? You're a school teacher. You know that some of the riskiest kids come from some of the best, from an outside view, households.
But why is that?
Well, because human nature. Human nature is to be displeased.
I disagree
We want
with
to
that.
whine and cry.
I disagree.
I'm glad. This is what I was looking
I disagree.
for.
I disagree.
Someone that
I
could
think
disagree.
that parents who have kids like that are not telling them the truth of their life. They're not showing them the examples. All the kids see is perfection, and they don't understand the struggle and what they went through. Because when you sit down and you have a conversation with them, they do not know mama's did some things that mama's not proud of. They don't know that daddy's did some things they're not proud of. So no, I totally disagree.
When do they get to hear those things?
Well, sometimes they never do get to hear those until they hit counseling.
Well, this is what I'm talking about.
But and then so it's not that they're fighting against. It's like they're fighting against the fact that, oh, I can't do anything that's good enough. And instead of finding out that mother's grades used to look like yours too. And then it took her to change. But they don't see that because a lot of times parents don't think that is relevant for their kids to know that there is a struggle.
Okay, I agree. But we're supposed to be disagreeing. But I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, so, no, when you said that they're in this battle, they're in the battle against something they don't even know about. And they're thinking that they can't live up to something, but nobody's lived up to that. They had to grow into that. So I just think we all need to be real.
As they manipulate themselves to grow into that, how do we know they need to grow into it? Oh, because the evidence shows that they're going the other way. Oh.
Yeah,
I think that's what I said.
And listen, I'm not saying that parents have to come in and talk about all the mistakes they made and hash up all this stuff, but they need to be a little bit more lenient with the kid and say, I understand. And let me tell you how I understand. Because my grades, maybe I struggled over here, but this is what I had to do. But you don't hear a lot of that. A lot of what you hear is, this is what you got to do, because there is no other direction and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's 50,000 different directions. But here are the consequences. Let me tell you what consequence I had to suffer. That's things that they need to hear.
And that's where I come in with the once-a-week burger instead of the 5-6 times a week burger. Because I see that, okay.
No, you need to come in with it. I'm sorry, I have to jump in. No, you have to come in with it because you have to determine, are you eating to live or do you want to, mix a little poison? And let me give you, let me ask you this question. What kind of gas you put in your car? Just tell me that. What gas do you put in your car?
I have a very old Volvo.
Okay, so what gas you put in there?
I put 91 in it because it's 19.
Okay, now
wait.
But watch this. Now, what if listen? It don't cost you nothing if you just go ahead and put some water in there.
Well, I won't be able to go anywhere either.
Well, no, just put gas in a little bit of water.
I won't be able to go anywhere.
Okay, but that's eventually what's going to happen to you.
Well, that's what we call dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we are dead, we don't go anywhere.
Yeah, but if you put a little bit of water with that gasoline, it'll still go.
I understand what you're saying. You're telling me, and it makes, that Wallace, if you can stop eating a lot of meat, why don't you stop eating a little meat? Well, I'm I'm stuck with the reward system that started some 7, almost 8 decades ago, and that's okay. I'm stuck. It's like my dad. Dad just celebrated 93.
Wow.
Celebrated 93.
Yeah.
Okay, and he doesn't get up and walk and run a whole lot, but
he does go out in the yard and he drives.
No, he doesn't drive. I'll drive him.
Okay.
I usually, like today, I'll go to L.A. and I'll pick him up. And one of the things he'll like to do is he want to go to
5 minutes, and I think we need to give some our help.
He'll want to go to Smart and Final, give him a bunch of money. But when he gets to the store, he throws away his cane. He gets this different kind of little walk, and all of a sudden he's probably maybe 63, because he's into something. Now, he can't go to the store and do that every day, but he does it once a week. And it's probably a little poison, because he probably gets a little more tired than but man, he's 93. He's going to get to have some privileges that he brought with him to this new attitude. That's where I'm stuck. I'm a baby boomer. I've done some things. I'm kind of like that commercial. I've seen some things. And so making myself better is what I can do. I cannot get perfect.
You can.
No.
The reason you can is because you told yourself you
I cannot get perfect now.
Talk to our health person over there.
I have run too much rubber off the treads of my tire. Sure. Okay.
I'm gonna close his mic. We're gonna talk to Mr. Health now, because he gonna look. See, I have to turn Wallace mic this way. Right. There you go, and then turn it off. Now go ahead.
And what
talk about what you do.
Okay, well, I help educate people's mind, bodies, and soul, and transform them. So usually, because for me, I used to eat meat about 7, 8 years ago, and it started off with my wife. She got off of it first, and it was hard at first, but even prior to that, I wasn't eating meat during the week. I would eat on the weekend, and that's because I got to work with clients during the week.
Roger Burger did not move next door to you.
Hey, even if Roger Burger ran next to me, I wouldn't eat it. Stop blaming Roger.
Okay, I won't blame Roger. I say it's me.
Right.
I'm willing to say that, but I tell you that I'm also willing to do some push-ups, some jumping jacks, run some miles, do some things, get up early, and work in that direction. Sure. Because, quite frankly, one of the healthiest people I know died of a heart attack while he was 60 years old.
Now, what's the percentage of that? Let's just be real. No, but wait. I want to say this, because when everybody brings up stuff, they don't go into details of why they died.
But I am going to say this.
Wait a minute.
I'm encouraging you guys to join the conversation. See? Walk with us every Saturday. Get in touch with Coach Carl and get your formula going, and maybe we'll be able to convince me. And I'm open to convincing.
But no.
Maybe
let's get back to the guy.
Just burn
2 minutes.
Rogers down. He's to blame.
No, he's not to blame. You have choices.
Okay, maybe it's some good hamburgers.
But you got 2 more minutes for our health coach.
Okay, so you get to see. You get to see the turmoil that we individually have. Is that new to you, Carl?
No, that's not.
I mean, this kind of internal conversation that I'm having with myself is what you hear all the time, right?
All the time.
People resisting their own self from doing what they know is best.
Absolutely.
And we do it all the time. And Tammy, I appreciate and love that you do that for me, because it helps me come closer to what I need to be.
I'm going to get you all the way there. 100%.
But I haven't jumped all the way into the river yet. But I'm trying to get baptized. Ooh, preach, brother. But I'm trying to make it right. And guess what? 99% of the people that we're talking to are also wanting to do better. And that's all that I can say is we want to do better. And as we move in that direction, this is Empire Talks Back. I got a whole minute left.
Told you 1 minute.
Okay, got a whole minute left.
Yes.
So as we endeavor to do better, I'm asking that you join us. Call Coach Carl.
Yes.
Get your personal formula. We are going to join Mayor Aquanetta Warren this coming Saturday on her walk, And then we're going to be establishing our weekly walks so that you guys can come out here and actually walk the California Route 66 Marathon, and we're willing to let you take 8 weeks to do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay? Tammy, thank you so much for being so kind about how you're helping me get my thing together. Oh my goodness. Listen, if you don't have a friend willing to tell you that you got a booger in your nose, you don't have a friend. Now, and I do appreciate that you are letting me know that I need to get a little better. And Coach Carl.
Yes, sir.
I think I see a couple extra pounds on you too.
Okay.
Okay.
It ain't nothing but to get it off.
Okay.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
The Browns get on the board. I'm Jeff Biggs, and a big game today in Cleveland, Week 9 Sunday in the NFL, and the first game for the Browns after the firing of Hugh Jackson and offensive coordinator Todd Haley, taking on the high-powered Chiefs, who jumped out to a 14-3 lead with 2 touchdown passes for Patrick Mahomes, one to Kareem Hunt, the other to Travis Kelce, but moments ago, Nick Chubb, a touchdown run, and the Browns 1 for 2 didn't get it, so it's 14-9, Kansas City on top midway through the second quarter. Jordan Howard, a touchdown run. The Bears lead the Bills in Buffalo 7-0. The Dolphins with the muddy field in Miami leading the Jets only 3-0. The Lions have just scored, but they trail the Vikings 7-6. Also, the Falcons with a touchdown catch for Tevin Coleman and a touchdown run for Ito Smith, up 14-0 at Washington. The Panthers trying to pull away from the Bucs, 21-7. They lead Tampa Bay. Ryan Fitzpatrick, an interception with touchdown runs for Christian McCaffrey, Alex Armah, and Curtis Samuel. And again, Carolina's on top, 21-7. And the Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger throwing a touchdown pass to Antonio Brown after throwing one to James Conner. And the Steelers lead the Ravens 14-3. Later on, the 3 late games, including Jared Goff and the 8-0 Rams in New Orleans to face the Saints.
Yeah, it'll definitely be one of the louder ones we'll play all year, and I think every game they have there at home is quite loud, and especially with this being a bigger game of the year, it'll be loud. I'm sure it'll be rocking, and it'll be fun.
And tonight, must see on NBC, Tom Brady and the Patriots hosting Aaron Rodgers and the Packers on Sunday Night Football. NBA next hour in Milwaukee. The Bucks will host Sacramento tonight. Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors are in LA to play LeBron and the Lakers. I'm Jeff Biggs, NBC Sports Radio.
City every month, it means you haven't signed up for the Inland Empire's #1 money savings program offered by Horizon Solar Power. Just call to qualify your home, and Horizon will give you $100 plus pay your electric bill until 2020. It's that simple. Call, qualify, get $100 and no electric bill payments until 2020.